Robbie, I wanted to start off and ask you. I know Johannes kind of was going for a real sort of John Carpenter, Escape from New York, The Thing kind of thing. For
Mhm.
your performance, I mean, were there any kind of movies or any kind of characters, I guess, beyond Chris Redfield that you were trying to evoke or, I suppose, were inspired by?
Not especially, actually. I mean, I replayed the game when I got the role, and I've spent so many hours playing as Chris Redfield and kind of living in that Resident Evil world. I'm a big fan, and then I read Johannes's script and spoke with him, and we were so on the same page with the tone of the movie. And what I thought he did really well was he took these characters that from the game that are maybe a little bit one dimensional and just fleshed them out into human beings and gave them flaws and built these relationships and made you care about them. And that was what my biggest thing. I thought that was so important because if you don't care about these characters, it doesn't matter if it looks exactly like the cutscene from the movie, you're going to lose the audience. So I just thought he did a great job with that. And as an actor, it was nice to lean into the human side of Chris because I knew that the zombie killing version of Chris was going to show up at some point.
Yeah, and I suppose that's it, isn't it? Like, I mean, the action thing is not that it's easy, but I mean, trying to kind of create a kind of an inner life for what's essentially a computer game character can be difficult.
Yeah, I mean, Resident Evil is amazing for a lot of things, but the cutscenes in Resident Evil 1 and 2 weren't, they left a little to be desired. So there are moments that I think, were so great that he pulled straight from the game. Like the first time I see the zombie and
Yeah,
the white coat and he turns over his shoulder, it's like, this is iconic. This is a great moment. But, you still need to tell a story and you need to make people care about these characters. And I think that he did a great job with that.
yeah, for sure. I'm curious to know. I mean, I was speaking to Tom and Avon yesterday, and I mean, are you signed up for a sequel? Are you able to talk about that yet? I mean, is there a sequel being planned? I suppose it's kind of contingent on box office.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's business. So if the movie does well, I think they'll want to do another one. They definitely leave it open for a sequel. I
Sure.
think Johannes has talked about Code Veronica and Resident Evil 4 as possible adaptations. He combined one and two, so maybe he combines Code Veronica and four. But I mean, I would love to. I legitimately playing Chris has been kind of a dream come true for me. So if I can continue to do it, that would be awesome. And I would love to continue doing it with the people that were involved in this one because it was just really great people. The only tough thing about it was shooting during COVID. We couldn't all really, get to hang out and get to know each other as well as I would have liked.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because as I was watching it, like I mean I know you're kind of like there was sort of references to Chernobyl and stuff like that, but I was like they actually shot this during COVID, and this is a film about a fucking virus wiping out half the planet, and you're like, oh Christ! I
Yeah,
mean, did they? I mean, not to be funny, but like, did that kind of play in your head as you're watching it? It's like, oh God, this is going to be a documentary in a year's time or something.
it was super weird. I mean, it was one of those things where it was like, you just tried not to think
Sure.
about it too much because it was so odd. And at the same time, like so many people in the world couldn't work. So
Yeah.
like we were so lucky to be doing something and doing something that we all enjoyed. So nobody took it for granted and nobody wanted to be the one to screw it up. So, everything was very safe. We were tested multiple times a week. There were mask protocols and mask mandates. The only tough thing about it was, you spend 12 hours a day with the cast and crew, and it's normally really nice to just get to know everybody and hear about their families or their just their lives. And in this case it was a lot of like, go to set, do your work, go to the like little cast tent, hang out in your little bubble. So it was we were lucky to have each other, the cast, and get to know each other and have Johannes, but it was definitely weird.
Yeah, I can imagine it because, like, yeah, I mean, like the thing that like I've talked to enough actors, like, and they say like the one joyful thing about being on set, I mean, other than you know doing the work or whatever, is meeting other people and actually interacting and being sociable, I suppose. And I suppose this is it. Like coronavirus is, and like the whole pandemic has just kind of robbed people of that avenue, I guess.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
for
very
sure.
weird, but we were very lucky, and it went very smooth,
Yeah.
surprisingly smooth.
Great stuff. Okay, I'm getting a wrap up there. So I'll leave it there. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Brian. Take care.
All the best.
The world needs to know what's really going on.
Get out of this town!
Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City.